Okay, the very last part of this piece is just exploring a few other pieces, and like I said, is with all this stuff, just have fun with it. You know, with any of this stuff, make it known to me that you know what you're doing. That's basically what I'm looking for. Okay, so again, for these types of things, different types of 3D formats, whether you want to shape it, bevel it, okay, shadows. Actually, some of the shadows down way at the bottom are actually the coolest, in my opinion. It actually moves it at the bottom, and you can change that angle and that distance as well. So you can see where the angle comes. You know. So, like I said, have fun with it and explore. Okay. With that said, I do have a couple other things to talk about. And let's take, like, say, I don't know, Thurman Thomas here. Let's take that, Control, and this. That selects different pieces. I'm going to insert pie chart, we'll say. Okay. And just as a reminder, I want you guys to remember, whenever you move these things, you use the location group, the move chart location group. You do not copy and paste. Okay, so press the move chart to a new sheet, name chart 1. You can name it Thurman Thomas. Okay, now it gets its own sheet. From its own sheet, again, you could still do all of these types of things. So it's really cool, especially for the shading and everything on these. And I'm just showing you this because it happens to look really nice on a pie chart. So again, with the shadows and whatnot, your beveled edges. Okay. Let's see. It's tough to see some of these. Let's go to, again, shadows. Some preset shadows here. Let's do this one. So you can, it's hard to see, but it's at the bottom. So I'm going to make that transparency less. I'm going to make it darker, that means. Okay, so the darker it is, the more shadow you see from that particular piece. Why is it only on this piece? That's the only one I selected. Format the data point, red only. Okay, so if I do the same thing here, preset shadows, I'm going to scroll down to the perspective one here. And I'd just be the same thing, right? I want that shadow. Oops, where is it? Okay. And I have to make the transparency different. Make it darker. I have to increase the distance. Okay. So all these things are making the shadows inside of these pieces. All right. So I hope you guys are enjoying this piece. You can see it's here. Okay. Again, as more and more of this goes through, you'll see you can change it. Distance goes farther away. Angles can change. So you're seeing more shadows to make it look more fun, if you will. Metallic pieces make it look metal-like. This one right here actually is pretty cool to see that way. Okay, so it's got that shine to it. This one right here, this is really cool actually. It's like a 3D look. You can see through the shape. So there's a lot of cool things you can do with these types of things. Again, have fun, okay? The very last thing I want to show you guys is spark lines. Spark lines is really cool actually. So I'm going to get rid of this. Now spark lines is not in previous versions of Excel. It is in 2013 as a start. So if you're using 2010, it does not exist in there. So, spark lines in the Insert tab has its own group, spark lines. Now, you have lines or columns, and basically what it is like a mini graph. It's pretty sweet. If you click on that, it's going to say, what's your data range? What are you looking at? So I'm going to use all these old years here. Location range, I want to put it in H3, and it says H3. It says OK, and it creates this. It made a line graph of all this information. Okay. If I want column, it will make it a column graph for me. You can see this. Okay. Again, with the line graph, you have different options. You could put a high point. You see a little red dot there. You could put the low point. You can see the little low point. You could put all markers. That means every single part that has a data point you would be able to see. And let's go a little more here. Okay. So you can see that there's 4 different data points because there's 4 different dots. Okay. If I took this and dragged it down, it will give me all of that for everybody. It seems like everybody's on the same curve. Okay. That's what it seems like anyway. I could even do the same thing over here and put it for this whole column. Okay, I can put a spark line for the columns also. So line, data range, I'm going to use all this stuff. Oops. Right here. There's my data points. Okay. What's cool about this, again, you put all the markers on there, you see each individual person. That's the first person, second person, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and 7th person. You see all the data points. In this case, they're people anyway. You can see the first one, here's Bruce Smith, this is Andre Reed, Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Steve Tasker, Cornelius Bennett, and Don Beebe. Okay. So I can make those points in here. I could do win-losses. I could do the columns. Oops. If I make it a column, it's like making a mini graph with all the rest of your data. Some people like visuals, real quick snippets of it. That's great. You can do all that stuff. And again, if you notice, you're in a Sparkline Tools design group, you can change the marker colors for all these things. You can change the actual color of the spark lines. You want to make it orange, make it orange. Okay. You could change all that stuff in the design tab just like you could before. All right. So that, again, that's new. That is not, well, newer, I should say. It's not in all versions of Excel. But Sparklines is definitely where you're going to go. You can change the colors, change it all in the Sparkline Tools Design tab. Okay. And again, they're mini graphs of everything that you see. So that's all it really is. It's nice, and it doesn't have to be next to it either. Ideally it is, I suppose, but if I wanted to do the sum of salaries and I didn't want to eliminate this total, that's fine. When I do insert, I want to do a line graph. I'm going to use all of that, not the total, and I want it to show up in F11. And everything shows up in F11. Okay? Again, put your markers on, your high points, your low points, your negatives, your last and first, whatever you want to do here, okay? So I'm going to put the low point. Notice that the low point is here because it's the lowest point. It's not the beginning or the end. It literally finds the lowest number. Okay? So if anybody has any questions, let me know. Otherwise, this is it for enhancing charts. And the previous was the macros. You should be all set. Have a good day.